You know, I'm not really sure why Pixar keeps releasing their sequels like a decade after their last movie. It's either because that's exactly how long it takes them to produce a rock solid script, or they just want to wait till a new generation of kids are born so their IPs live longer. Your guess is as good as mine. Toy Story 4. So Toy Story 4 more or less picks up right after the last one left off in that the toys, Woody, Buzz, Jesse, and the gang are all kind of acclimating to life under their new kid named Bonnie, who Andy passed off his toys onto. Bonnie is entering kindergarten and she uses her craft time to make a new toy that's a spork named Forky, who kind of has an existential crisis right off the bat. He's like, I'm a spork, not a toy, so I'm just gonna try to weave my way in the trash. But Woody tries to explain the importance of why toys always need to be loyal to their kids and what they mean to their kids, which leads them on a journey to reclaim Forky for Bonnie. And I'm not gonna lie, I really dug this movie. I had the same worries as everyone else in that I was like, okay, wait a minute, the ending of Toy Story 3 was so good, why didn't they just leave the series at that? But I had a feeling Pixar and their divine wisdom had a way to still make this movie feel relevant enough. And I'm happy to say I wasn't disappointed. The animation of this movie is just flat out amazing, drop dead gorgeous. The first thing that caught my eye through this movie when it was opening was just how better everyone looks in this movie. Pixar always has a way of pushing the boundaries of animation, and this movie is no exception. Remember when humans used to look like this in Pixar movies? Ugh, we have come a long way. Just the different ways all the toys move differently makes them feel like they have their own distinct personalities, and the humans too, the human features all the way down to their skin and their hair. It just looks flat out amazing. I also noticed they were a lot more ambitious this time around as far as the cinematography goes. There are some shots in this movie that are just absolutely breathtaking.
You're breathtaking. You're all breathtaking.
Speaking of breathtaking, the voice cast is amazing with a lot of interesting celebrity cameos, especially Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves plays this daredevil biker named Duke Kaboom, and he had a lot of laughs, but honestly, the scene stealers, the show stealers of this movie are Key and Peele as two plushies named, I think, Ducky and Bunny, something like that. I had no idea I needed Key and Peele in my Toy Story movie, but my goodness, they just had so many funny things to say every time they were on screen. Tom Hanks and Tim Allen do a phenomenal job revising their roles as Woody and Buzz. I love how much their friendship has grown over these movies. I wish they would have had a couple more moments just between each other, especially how much this movie prioritizes farewells. But I really like the direction they were taking all these new characters. This movie really delves into Woody's psyche and how he's failing to cope with a new kid with his new role. Annie Potts also did a really good job as Bo Peep in this movie. Bo Peep, talk about getting the glow up. She's smart, she's sassy, she's dangerous, she's living her life much more differently than Woody could have imagined. The movie starts off with a flashback showing exactly what happened to her going in between Toy Stories 2 and 3. And the movie does a good job of explaining how that event just shaped Bo Peep's outlook on life as far as what toys are supposed to be. She also had great chemistry with Woody as expected, and they had a lot of cutesy moments. I really like seeing them interact. As far as cons of this movie, I felt like the first act was a little too slow. Once you kind of see what this movie is about and you kind of see, okay, this is the exciting incident, this is why the toys have to go back and have another adventure, I felt like the movie kind of dragged a little bit around the 30 to 45 minute mark. And then Key and Peele shows up and then everything's great. Also, I can't stress enough how much this movie focuses on Woody and Bo Peep and them kind of trying to reconcile their views of what toys should be to kids. That very much is the heart and the crux of the plot and the emotions of this movie, which is great. It was done very well. But at the same time, I didn't get to see as much as the other toys I've grown to know and love over the years. Buzz was hilarious in this movie. Buzz is trying to find Woody after he stumbles off really early on, and he had some great laughs, but I wish, like I said, that he would have had more scenes. And because the main toys from the other movies kind of get pushed to the side, it makes the final goodbye in this movie not kind of hit you as hard as it should, at least for me. Not to say it wasn't emotional, but my main gripe with this movie is that its ending wasn't as potent and it wasn't as powerful as the ending of Toy Story 3. Not to say that this movie doesn't have an emotionally resonant ending, but it just didn't hit me as hard. Because the ending of Toy Story 4 just had me like, okay, that was nice. But the ending of Toy Story 3 had me like... I feel like in a lot of people's eyes, Toy Story 3 is going to go down as the real ending to the trilogy. And Toy Story 4 is just kind of going to be like the epilogue chapter, the Toy Story 3 DLC, the Bo Peep DLC as I like to call it. Doesn't wrap up the franchise as nicely as Toy Story 3 did, but still kind of answers those unanswered questions like what happened to Bo Peep, and still a really enjoyable movie on its own. It's not quite as funny or as intense as Toy Story 3, that's probably my favorite of the bunch, but still a very funny, emotional, and heartfelt movie to close out the franchise. I'm gonna give Toy Story 4 a solid 4 out of 5 stars. So those are my overall thoughts on Toy Story 4. Let me know in the comments what's your favorite movie of the franchise and what you thought about this one. This is officially the kickoff of the summer movie season to me because I'm staying far away from Dark Phoenix and I just didn't have time to go watch Men in Black, unfortunately. So yeah, make sure you like this video as it helps out the channel a ton, and subscribe for more content like this. I am Pac. Thanks so much for hearing my perspective, and I'm out for now.